Good morning. You guys remember last time I was here, right? So I finished the Camino. I walked from Porto and it was beautiful. One of the best experiences of my life. But the thing is that I can't stop walking. I want to be a pilgrim one more time, and I have a chance to be a pilgrim for 3 or 4 more days. So I spurred up some days in my calendar and I am walking to the end of the world in this gloomy weather today. Let me explain. Before the age of discovery, before Columbus, Vasco da Gama, Captain Cook, and all the other fearless guys sailed into the ocean, people assumed that the only earth we had was from China to the Iberian Peninsula, which is nowadays Spain and Portugal. They thought there was nothing else out there. I'm walking to this place called Finisterre, which comes from Latin, obviously. Finis, Finnish, and terre, the earth. So the name literally means the end of the earth. This cape is located on the west coast of Galicia, Spain, and was considered to be the westmost point of not only Europe, but the entire world. That's also not true, by the way. The most westerly point of mainland Europe is actually in Portugal. Anyway, people used to hike all the way up there to see where it all ended. Also, my Spanish friend Diego told me that this whole Camino hustle started because of that place. People walked a lot to see the end of the world. But then he said that the Catholic Church made it all about pilgrimage and religion. I have no idea what really happened, but it does not matter to me. I just want to reach the place, stand on that one spot where thousands and thousands of people for many hundred years would stand and think to themselves, well, that's it. Feels good to look at those signs again. I feel like I'm in my element once more. And look how lush this tiny little park is. I wanted to start walking yesterday, but it was raining cats and dogs outside. I didn't leave my couch surfing for a second. Well, I just grabbed coffee. And today it feels like I was locked up in a prison yesterday, and now I'm out. And I'm in this beautiful forest. Feels great. Really feels great. God, I love nature, man. It's very beautiful here. Very, very beautiful. The camera doesn't capture a fraction of this beauty. I'm sorry, guys. You have to come and do this by yourselves. And I think the rain makes the colors more vivid and oh God, I love this. Look at Santiago, covered with mist. I haven't finished this Camino yet, and I'm already thinking about my next one. So I think I might be addicted to walking the Camino specifically. It can happen really, because I met somebody who did more than 10 Caminos, and I'm like, I see myself in you. And it's scary. After walking so much, I feel like nothing's gonna be far away anymore. The Google Maps will be like, it's 2 hours, take a bus, but I'll be like, no, I can walk there. It's been exactly 18 days that I haven't taken any sort of transportation. Not for a second. And it's gonna feel so weird sitting in that bus. And the bus takes like 5 hours to go to Porto. And I've been walking for like 16 days. Ay. It's gonna be difficult to adjust the reality, This definitely feels like an alternative reality, and only people who are doing this Camino know what it feels like. And of course, I'm not saying that the rest of the world is stupid and they don't understand, but it's difficult to really get the idea without being here, without being present. That's why a lot of people are commenting on my video that they did the Camino and they wish me a buen Camino, and thank you guys so much for that. But it's happening because they know what it feels. It's beautiful, really, really amazing. I feel like I'm part of something bigger than me, I'm gonna bother you with a little YouTube monologue, bear with me. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, and if this is at least your second video, What are you waiting for? It really helps the algorithm, and I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mwah. I was hesitating about this Camino a little bit, but then Diego told me that this was the best he has done, and he's done 7 of them, so I believed him, and I think he has a perfect point. This is very peaceful, green, rural, lush, exactly what I like. He also told me this Camino is mostly flat, which is not true. This is not true, Diego. Ay, ay, ay. This is my favorite part of the day. I look forward to a coffee break more than arriving anywhere. Hola. Buenos días. It's just about time for me to stretch, and I see that little private spot here. So I'll go and do some yoga there. Alright, time to go. I was just thinking, if somebody ever came to me and told me there would be a period of your life when it would be all about walking for 6 hours, finding food and a shelter to sleep for a night, I'd be like, dude, that's like hunter-gatherers 12,000 years ago. I'm better than that. And that's exactly what I've been doing last 16 days. And it feels great. Highly recommended. I love looking at the fresh cut logs like this, and it reminds me of something that my biology teacher would always say. So she would say that if I'm ever lost in a forest, I should cut a tree, and if the circle... Okay, wait, this is not a good example. Let me show you. Here, circles are close this way, right? And then she would always say that whatever these close circles are facing, it's north. And I remember thinking, like, how the hell would I be able to cut the tree if I'm lost in the forest? She wouldn't say anything like, look at the sunrise or sunset or whatever. She was like, no, cut the fucking tree. And that's how you learn where is the east and the north and the whatever. Oh, God. It's almost the size of my head. A little René Magritte composition right here. This is how much I love apple, okay? Can you see this? There's still some left. Ah. It smells amazing. But I don't have enough water to wash this, so I'll save this for later. The sun is out and it's not misty anymore, which is good, I guess. It's not as mystical. Huh. Mystical and mystery comes from mist. Probably. Okay, this is the time of the day when I'm exhausted and start to get unreasonably silly. You start to get a little crazy when you're that much alone for a long time. This is what I mean. That day I checked into albergue and tried to get some sleep, but this happened. I love albergues because first of all, they're mostly owned by local families and I love to support them. And secondly, you get to meet a lot of amazing people. But if there is something I will never ever miss about this Camino, it's definitely the snoring pilgrims. They're just ruining everybody else's sleep and they have no self-awareness about that whatsoever. Anyway, the next morning was magnificent, amazingly beautiful. I want you guys to just listen to the sounds of 6 a.m. I walked 115 kilometers in 3 days and have barely talked to anybody except for this volunteer from the Vatican and this crazy superhuman who blew my mind. So I met this gentleman here in this cafe and he started today at what time?
At 4 a.m.
4 a.m. and you walk in the whole Camino in one day?
From Santiago de Compostela to Finisterre.
How many kilometers?
It's 89, I believe.
Almost 100.
Yeah, almost 100.
How are you feeling?
I feel great. Like I'm already walked 63 kilometers and just had the cerveza and I can continue to walk.
Nice.
By sunset I want to be in Finisterre.
Okay.
And,
how many hours from now?
Well, I believe I have still like 5 hours, 30 kilometers to go. I'm trying to do like a pace of 7 kilometers an hour.
Nice.
So I'm quite quick.
That's the speed I run. Jesus Christ. I think I was too much into my head these 3 days and I was feeling very, very tired the last day. I kind of twisted my left foot and I was walking very funny. It was painful, but I could not let myself give up. I'm usually pretty self-forgiving when it comes to physical challenges. I learned not to push myself too much when it's not necessary. But I felt like I needed to finish this Camino and nothing would stop me from doing it. It felt more like a mental challenge than a physical one. I was very excited when I first saw the ocean. It felt like I was getting closer to my goal. The water was very cold, but I decided to swim a little bit. I know it seems hot and warm in this video, but look how beautiful this beach is. And if nobody's swimming here, that's when you know that the water is really cold. Well, almost nobody. I did not want to leave this beach because I knew the next step would be the end and I'm not good with goodbyes and the endings. Getting up on top of the cape was truly magnificent. I mean, I really cannot find the right words to describe what I felt. The sky, the sea, the light, the reflection of the water made it very difficult to even see the horizon. It was not just one line, but like a gradient of water and air. I could see why people thought this place was special. I could see why nobody assumed there was something beyond this place. I like to compare this feeling to something you sense when you look at the clear blue sky. There's no sign of anything happening beyond the sky, right? We might have some knowledge now because of the science and all that, but human perception or our intuition does not tell us anything about what is happening out there in the space. Some people in medieval times believed that this water was turning into a waterfall and it was going straight down into hell. So they feared it. Water is scary and loud and powerful, and looking at this giant mass of water from this cliff really made me feel small, tiny, the tiniest of creatures. The cliff was full of people, mostly pilgrims and some tourists, and even though I felt emotional and I wanted to cry there, I couldn't do it in front of this many people. So I found a little private spot to cry my eyes out. I do not know what the hell was happening to me exactly, but I could not stop thinking about the people who would get there and think that this was the end of the world. It was almost like I was seeing the timeline of human history after 12th century. I felt like I traveled back in time. I wanted to tell them about Christopher Columbus, the great discoveries, the Americas, about the progress and pain Europeans are going to cause in new continents, about the printing press, electricity, penicillin, Shakespeare, Renaissance, bloody wars, racism, endless plagues, Hitler, Stalin, the United States of America. You think there is nothing out there, people? So much happened after that, but we still don't know anything. I was just repeating this to myself like a mantra. Humans know nothing. We know nothing. I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. Nothing.